Welcome back, drone fans, to another exciting episode of Dung Drones. Today, we're going to be learning how to clean the DJI Mini SE. Now, there are a couple things that we need to remember. When cleaning this drone, we should always make sure that the battery is not inside the drone. This is for safety reasons. And of course, we see that inside the drone the battery is out. And we also want to keep on the gimbal guard while we are cleaning this drone. This is to make sure that we do not damage the gimbal while moving the cleaning agents around and also while cleaning the drone overall. So now that we have the drone out, we can start right away. So what I like to do which means that this wing, let me just bring this closer to camera, you should be able to see that slight mark right there. This wing is supposed to take this propeller because it's marked. To clean this controller, it means we're going to have to open the compartments, and it also means that we're going to have to remove these joysticks. So I'm just getting all the parts out so that when it's time to clean, it's very easy. So far we have our propellers out, and we also have our joysticks out. We also need to make sure that we are storing these screws properly. I'm using a bottle cap. You can use any other container that's small enough to hold these things. So we're going to need some alcohol as our cleaning agent. We're also going to need wipes, and any wipes that you can find around the house, you can use that as well. We're going to need a brush, and if you have a brush with long bristles, that's preferred, and it's not too firm because we don't want to disturb any wiring or anything inside. I want to start by tipping just a bit of this alcohol inside the wipes. This is to strengthen the alcoholic mixture in it. We're going to save that, let it sit for a little. I'm going to start first by cleaning the top shell or the top section of the drone, and we're going to do that by using one of the wipes. So you can bundle the wipe up in a small ball like that, and you can just wipe it like this way. So what we're doing, we're gently wiping off any dirt or any grime that may have built up on this drone. And guys, trust me, it is going to happen, because as you're flying through the air, you can actually cut insects like grasshoppers and stuff like that to bits. So you'll see sometimes residue of that on your drone, and you don't want that lying around. You want to keep it nice and clean. So we are rubbing the sides as well, and we're being very thorough. Just a light rub. and you want to inspect it to make sure that it's nice and clean. If you're seeing anything that's out of the ordinary, then you can wipe it down some more. The gimbal guard can also be clean as well. We want to make sure that our guard is clean. Now we're going to be taking this off in a while, but I'm just getting this cleaned up since it's already on there. Just wiping that clean. There we go. As we keep these drones, you're going to have some orangish kind of spots developing on it. I'm not quite sure if it's because of exposure to moisture or water, but you'll see it build up. So what you want to do is you want to hold the wing with one hand like this, and I'm going to hold with my thumb and my pointer. I'm going to hold this in place. So as I'm cleaning, I'm spinning it. So we want to keep that nice and clean as well, and being careful not to allow any form of liquid or fluid to get down into these bits. We don't want these coils getting wet. All right, so we want to keep it nice and dry. Now if we inspect it, we see that it is looking nice and clean already. And for each of these motors that we wipe down, we want to have just a small bit of tissue to kind of dry off any residue that may be left behind. So I'm just drying that off, and I'm spinning it as I'm doing it. All right, and we inspect it. Wow, look at that, it's nice and clean. All right, and now I like to make a little point with the wipes like that, and I like to put it in like that, make like a circular motion, so that we'll get the dirt that's around this bulb like covering out. All right, remember the optical flow sensor that's also in the middle. We're going to be cleaning that as well. And I'm not using anything solid to move along these areas, because you don't want to mark these coverings at all, since these are sensors. All right, so you want to keep them nice and clean. All right, open this and look inside. You remember that this is the battery bay. This is where the battery goes in, and if we look at the top here, we'll see terminal points. Now unless your terminal point has something wedged up there, you won't need to clean this necessarily. But should you need to clean it, the demonstration goes as follows. So you're using the same brush that we have been using from the beginning of this demonstration. Now you want to turn the drone this way vertically as you're cleaning it, so whatever falls that way rather than back in up into the drone. All right, so we're cleaning that and we're inspecting, and it's nice and clean. We close the battery bay and we're ready to can sometimes be difficult. Be very patient as you clean the controller and be very gentle with these mechanisms that hold the phone. You're just turning it to the side now to get all that grease off, because through holding this controller and flying it, your sweat and other bodily fluids gets locked in. So now what we're going to be doing, we're cleaning the area of the joysticks, and we're moving the joystick ball to the side. Then we're going to move it the other way so we can get some cleaning done on the other side. We do not have to open this controller to get it cleaned. We just need to change the position of this ball, and we keep changing it so that we can get to all angles. Now we are cleaning the gimbal wheel, and we're being very gentle not to stress the wheel. We're just inspecting now, and it's looking great. Nice and clean. Now we are wiping the antennas, and we're being very gentle as we do this. These are very delicate structures and you don't want to break them. So I'm using tissue now to dry off any residue that's there. And there we have it. Now we move to the propellers, and to wipe the propellers, we are just going to put one in each hand, one in each part of the wipes, and we rub them together like this. Now this is a very effective way to clean more than one propellers at the same time. And we inspect it and it's looking clean. We can grab another one and we can continue the process. Now we're on to the joysticks. The joysticks need cleaning as well, so we're going to put it inside the wipes, and we're holding this end and we turn. So this is the way we wipe the joystick, or we clean the joystick, and we're cleaning the sponge-like padding that's around the side of it. A little bit of leftover lint on it, we can use the brush to brush that off. And this is a very soft brush, so you won't do any damage at all to this thing. And when we take a look, this is what we end up with. So wow, look at that. Now that we're finished with that, we can talk about fitting these parts back together again. And of course, we are going to be taking our joysticks, we're going to stick them in here in the holding area, or I'd like to call them the compartment. And to do that, you're turning this end, the skinnier end, up to this section here, and that locks in place. And you want to lock this in place as well, and you want to lock these antennas in place, and that takes care of the controller. There you see the mark, and what I'm doing is I am attaching it to this arm that is also marked. So if you look a little bit closer, so this arm has a mark, and so does this arm. Now that we're finished cleaning the controller and the outer part of the drone, we can actually move now to the camera gimbal. Now there's a reason why I left this section for last, and it's all because this is the most delicate part of the drone. Alright, so this is our gimbal, and it's looking very clean already. But what we want to do is we want to take a small piece of tissue. If you have any cotton or lint free material, that would be best. But again, I'm just saying that if you do not have any of these materials available to you, then of course you can use a roll of tissue. Now here it is, and I'm holding the gimbal like so, so my hand is going over the body of the drone like that, and I'm anchoring with these 3 fingers at the top, and I'm also using my pointer finger to kind of rest in the top here with my thumb for support down below, so it's not hanging by the gimbal. Alright, so I'm turning it down like that, and it's best that you make a nice kind of padding. You don't scrumple it up into a ball, and you can proceed to gently make tiny circles. Just going to take a look at that, and that is really clean. I'm just going to allow you to take a closer look. There it is, magnificent. It is absolutely clean. Alright, so that's our gimbal, looking really good. Now once you're finished, we can now take another look at the gimbal guard. Now you would remember that we were cleaning this earlier. We can just use the wipes to kind of clean the inside here. I'm being very gentle to remove all the debris that may have built up inside this thing. I'm just cleaning that out. I'm just giving the outside a one over. And I'm cleaning all the little crevices and corners that my thumb can reach. And you want to be very careful when you're cleaning this. Remember, these two hooks are at the end here, and you don't want to break them off, or else the gimbal guard won't have anywhere to anchor itself on the drone. So once you're finished doing that, then out comes our tissue again, and we can use that to kind of dry off any residue that may be there. And I'm being careful not to touch the front section with my thumb. And there it is, looking nice and clean. Alright, so that's our gimbal guard, and I'm going to slide this thing back on. And to do that, as always, you want to point the gimbal forward, and then you want to make sure it's leveled, and you're sliding the cover back over like that. Get the hooks under, and for these clips that are below here, you want to push like that, and there it is. Nice. And now we can actually see the gimbal a little bit clearer now that we have cleaned the gimbal guard. Okay, drone fans, we're now at the ending of the video. Catch you in the next one. Dung Drones over and out.